It's Star Wars Mansplained! Putting brands in their place, one Padawan at a time. And now, here's your host, Dr. Star Wars! And has he got some mansplaining to do?
Welcome to Star Wars Mansplained. I'm your host, Dr. Star Wars, because if there was a doctorate available for knowing everything in the galaxy about Star Wars, then I would be the Palpatine of the professors in that institution of higher learning's Star Wars department. But enough about me, for now. Let's meet today's guest, or Padawan as I like to call him. Today's guest is here, you need to know, because of a contest he won on a barely known podcast, Star Wars and Smile. I'm told he loves being positive and enjoying all things Star Wars without focusing on negativity and blah blah blah. For the sake of time and to stay awake, we'll skip the rest of the 5,000 word essay my man penned as his introduction. Here is today's Padawan, David Drennan. Let's go with Double D. Capiche?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Star Wars. It's a pleasure to meet you. And I'm so glad to have won that
pleasure is all yours. Let's keep going.
It is.
Thank you. Thanks for winning also a little-known podcast contest and making it on my show. Also, thanks to an arrangement with the podcasts and my mutual attorneys, Stanley and Fellamore. Oh, don't worry, Double D. I will still treat you as good as a regular official guest.
Thank you.
Let's start, as I always like to start, by finding out the who, what, when, where, how, and sometimes why you are a Star Wars fan. But based on the length of your intro essay, just give us the lightning lane to your personal Star Tour. Both Disney park references. My last guest didn't have any clue what I was talking about when I said Star Tour. So just take us on a journey, but, with haste, if you know what I mean.
Certainly. Yeah, I won't use 5,000 words. I promise.
You already did. You already did once, so you can see where I'm a little...
So I was a kid in 1977 when the first Star Wars film came out.
Here we go. So already, yep. So a know-it-all from the start. Okay, so what was the first Star Wars movie called? It was called Star Wars. It wasn't called A New Hope until later.
Thank you. That's true. I'm glad.
It is true. I'm glad I can help you out. Keep going.
So I was 7 years old when it came out, and I loved the movie and enjoyed it and saw all of them in the theater, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And so that's what started my Star Wars story and my love of it ever since I was a kid. So that's why I'm here today as a Star Wars fan and a part of the Star Wars community.
Wow, you did pretty good. I was just starting to nod, so thank you very much, Double D, for that. So you were 7 years old, and you were basically a Star Wars prodigy. Let's see, you've got your antisocial's presence labels you as father and son. Now, as father and son is actually a reference to Vader and Luke, when Luke says that they can rule the galaxy together as father and son. So it actually works out that that's what you named your podcast with your son. Because it's an actual line from Star Wars.
It is, yeah. Vader says, join me and together we will rule the galaxy as father and son.
You want to check your equipment. It feels like there's an echo in the room. Oh no, that's right. You were just mansplained and then you tried to turn it around and act like you knew it from the start, from the time you were 7. Let's keep going.
So my son and I did start a podcast on YouTube called As Father and Son, as you clearly pointed out.
Oh, so all right. And, I was wondering if you were the evil father or the whiny son. My bet was on the whiny son, but now it sounds like you're the father. Or were you the creepy great uncle who's searching for a way to somehow escape or return from the grave?
You know what? Maybe all of the above. But I am on this podcast with my son. I am the father in As Father and Son. So we had a good time, and all his life, he's a grown up, and we have always talked about Star Wars every time we get together. One day we were both like, we should do this on YouTube. And so we started the channel. We both said it should be called As Father and Son. And we started playing video games and we started talking all about all the movies. And at that time, the newer movies were coming out for the sequels. So we started doing essays about the Last Jedi and then the Rise of Skywalker.
You didn't have to tell us you were doing essays. We already know that from the millions of words.
That's okay. I'm getting interviewed by Dr. Star Wars. It's such an honor.
You're getting mansplained is what you're getting.
So anyway, we do have the YouTube channel that we started. And then my son, in 2020, we've been going really well, had some good followers on all the social medias. My son had a son of his own, and so things have slowed down. We're kind of on a hiatus. We've had a few things here and there. My son will play video games on Twitch, but now I wonder if we should call ourselves As Father and Son, kind of like that law firm.
Yeah, you're definitely the father. That was the worst dad joke I've ever heard.
I am. I own it.
You know, I'm thinking you're probably, you are the creepy great, or maybe the creepy grandfather figure.
Okay.
So what upcoming Star Wars projects do you or your whiny son, Tiny Tim, we'll call him Tiny Tim, have in the works that won't put our audience to sleep, please?
So my son Timothy, yes, Tim. He does
Tiny whiny Tim, whiny Tim.
Yeah. Okay. So he does have. I'm making sure. He has something. He's started a webpage called Just Enjoy Media, and he's talking about more than Star Wars. He's talking about all types of media, movies, TV shows, even books, where you get on and you can submit an essay, or he might write something about what he's enjoying at this current moment, whether it's a TV show, a book, or a movie. It's called Just Enjoy Media, and you can find it on at Just Enjoy Media on X. And he has a website too for Just Enjoy Media. So that's something he's doing. Like I said, as far as our channel goes, we've been on hiatus, but stay tuned. We are talking about doing some new things soon. And then I also have.
I know you're talking. Project. That's one thing I'm sure you're doing is talking.
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me talk. So I'm a musician. I have a side project with a couple of other Star Wars community folks, and Cam Ray, who I won the contest with. He also is a part of this music group. We call ourselves SCK, and we write Star Wars songs. So we have a bunch of silly parody type songs out there. Another friend of ours from around the galaxy, Pete Fletzer, is in the band with us. Scotty J. Rowe has played guitar for us. So you can be on the lookout. We've got some old songs that have been out for a few years, but there's still some new things in the works. So hopefully this year you'll see something new from Project SCK. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Oh, all right. Sorry. That sounds great. Whatever you just said. I was saving up a power nap for later, but it seems I got half of it in right now. Let's keep going. Since you are Mr. Positivity, still working on your doctorate, what character or scene in Star Wars brings the greatest message of hope or positivity for you, and why? Oh boy, here we go.
Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. So Star Wars, I love the positivity of Star Wars. I believe it brings hope to the generations that get to watch it. But the main theme through the entire saga, to me, is the story arcs of redemption. So he started out with Anakin Skywalker, this young, innocent little boy who becomes a Jedi Padawan. Then he turns to the dark side. He's seduced and turns evil. But then at the end, he is redeemed. And then the story continues in the sequels with
Anakin Skywalker actually turns into Darth Vader.
Correct. And then Darth Vader gets redeemed by his son, Luke Skywalker, and he gets a redemption arc, and I love that. And then you go into the sequels, and Ben Solo is kind of the same story. He's a Jedi Padawan who turns to the dark side, and then he gets redeemed by the end of the saga. And so the story arc of redemption is really powerful to me, and it translates over into my real life, because in my Christian faith, the story of redemption through Jesus is what helps me to be the kind of person that I want to be, because I might have been bad in my life, but because of my faith, I have a redemption arc too, and I believe that's available to everyone. So I've kind of mingled Star Wars and my faith a little bit, but I think that's okay. And one of the things that we say in As Father and Son is, if you love a thing, just love that thing. And if you don't love a thing, don't ruin someone else's love for that thing. So that's our motto, and we stick with that. So that's why we try to stay positive. There are things we don't like, but we're not going to try to ruin Dr. Star Wars' love for something that maybe we don't care for.
Yeah, you had to play the Sunday school Jesus answer, didn't you? I got nothing. Well, I do have to say your positivity is a little bit, it's a little, what's the word?
Contagious?
Sleep-inducing. Anyway, I'll think of a better synonym later. Yeah, well, I've got a power nap scheduled in about 10 minutes, so...
I have 10 more minutes to talk?
Anything else you want to share? Very quickly, please.
I would like, if you're okay with this, Dr. Star Wars, I would like to send you just some free stickers that we have of our As Father and Son logo. You can
I'm
see
good.
that it's
actually, I'm calling Lucasfilm right now. That looks like some sort of a breach of contract. That's definitely a picture from Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
If you say so. But it's the ASFAS is As Father and Son. That's who we are, and I'll gladly send you these stickers if you'll let me. And anybody,
all right, thank you so much for that word from our sponsors. Stickers are really cool.
The stickers are cool.
Thank you so much. So where can our listeners find you and your positivity on the antisocials before we give you the ventilation shaft?
So we are on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. It's at As Father and Son. We are on Twitter or X. It is at AsFast92. We are on Twitch, As Father and Son, and we are on Instagram, As Father and Son _AsFast92. So we're on all those places. Keep a lookout.
Yeah, that's your 5 million word limit. See you later, Double D. Well, that's a wrap for another episode of Star Wars Mansplained. Until next time, may the Force be with you.